Welcome to my channel. My name is Shoshana and I'm a guide to life. And I want to talk about the void again. I just recently did a video about becoming comfortable in the void. And somebody wrote in a comment and asked me about how to stay calm in the void, how to ground yourself, or how to be able to hold. And there's a few different things that I have to say about this. First of all, we're retraining ourselves because when that void comes in, there are like the urge to, it causes so much internal pain and internal like chaos that many times either we try to run away from it in many different ways. We try to fill the void. We try to fill it with superficial things. We try to, and a void can be caused for many different reasons during the spiritual awakening. Many times when we bypass something, we leave old behaviors behind, then there is this void in life, and before it gets filled, it feels like there's something missing. It feels like we have a gaping hole in us, like something like we're empty all of a sudden. And our first initial reaction is to try to, and there's pain in that, yeah, especially if it's caused by a breakup or leaving some kind of addiction behind, or a death of someone, or leaving a job, some kind of void. It could also be losing behaviors, which can also be considered addictions, or things that we have removed from our life, but there's still a gap there. And so, especially in things like breakups or the death of someone, it feels like there's an empty space left there. There is a void, and we don't know how to quite fill it yet. It's like there's a gap. We feel a gap. Now, first of all, there's an illusion because there never is a gap. There has never been. From when you were born to where you are right now, there has never been. It's been a constant continuation. You have not been. There wasn't like all of a sudden a year that disappeared. There might be a year that uh, lost to oblivion because you were running and doing other things and trying to fill that void. That's where you lose time or lose the meaning for life. But when you can just sit in that void until that void becomes completely comfortable, until that void no longer feels like a void, that is when you can overcome it, not when you fill it with superficial things. If you're filling the gap or trying to get quick releases or immediate gratifications, or try to stimulate yourself into forgetting. So it could also be in binging in TV, getting completely lost in just watching TV that's zoning your mind out to where you don't have to be present. You get lost in other stories. So you're giving away your life power to a story. A lot of times, you get into a movie, and then when you get completely submerged within that movie, you're in a different life story. You're in the story that is going along in the movie. Your actual, your own life is like on hold. And so a lot of times we'll feel these urges to run, or urges to drink alcohol, to smoke, or to find a way to get out of that void, to fill it with something. If we break up with someone, all of a sudden we'll start looking for other people to try to bring them in and fill that void, that emptiness. And there is a time of healing. There is a time of in order to really even get over a breakup, you have to settle into it and really give yourself the time to acknowledge what has happened, to process all of those emotions that are coming up. And so you have to have that time in order to heal. Otherwise, let's say if you go straight from a breakup and you fill that void with somebody, first of all, you're not giving this really a chance, because there is no chance. They are coming to fill a hole. And so that's why they always say the rebound, it never works. You might make a rebound work. And there's always out of things that are out of the norm, or exceptions to the rules, or there are no definite rules and things like that. But typically, it is because that person has come in, not because you actually chose them, and typically you're not even emotionally available for them. Even if they were the right person for you, you are not ready yet to fully commit yourself to the relationship if you haven't gotten over a previous relationship yet. So when there is that void, you have to kind of train yourself. Just a minute, I'm going to pause this for a second. So I'm going to have to sum this up. Somebody's waiting for me downstairs. So you have to kind of allow yourself to sit in that void, to hold, knowing that that urge, whatever that urge is going to pass. So you are retraining ourselves to be able to cope. And then be able to cope means whenever those urges come up, just sit in those urges, sit and allow them to pass, and know that they will pass. And slowly you'll start seeing the progression. You could even make a game of it, to where every time you have one of those urges and you sit in it, you'll be proud of yourself for sitting in it. And you'll see that slowly those urges, you'll be able to deal with them as they come, and they won't, it'll slowly start passing and becoming easier and easier and easier. So thank you for watching.